Anyway, let's get into the content, baby. Let's talk a little bit more about motivation, and more specifically in the context of just being smooth and playing it cool. Because here we have a gentleman here. I don't know. I know he's a streamer based off what I'm seeing on over here in the corner. But more so, here we have a gentleman who is going through it with this girl. From what I can see, he's going through it with this girl. And as opposed to getting erratic and acting out like most of us do in these situations, he plays it cool. So I'm gonna move myself out the way, and let's go ahead and take a look at this gentleman, and let's see how this young brother handles his business.
On my PC and shit? For sure. For sure. I don't know this person anymore. You can get out of here.
Okay. Just keep, like I said, keep your distance from her. She's been kept in the home.
Nah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna contact you there. Just try to keep things under
Yeah.
control until we arrive. Okay.
Once again, y'all, this is not over no girl. Never over no female. On my life, it's never over no female.
E-I-T-A-L-Y. Look up E-I-T.
Yeah. Right here in the room.
Okay. You injured at all?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Talk to him.
So basically, all this started earlier with a little argument. You know, one thing turned to another. And that was that. Like, she's been antagonizing me. I just want her to leave, honestly. Throwing drinks at me and stuff. Like, I just want her removed from my house. This is my apartment. It all started from an argument. I asked her to fold some clothes. Then
Now this is how you handle a situation. This is how you handle a situation with a woman that you live with. Or more specifically, I guess in his case, an ex, right? Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, and this might be a hot take to some people, but me personally speaking, I don't think it's a good idea that you should be living with your partner anyway. I know that sounds stupid. To some. That sounds stupid to some, but I just want to paint you a concept. Imagine the two of you had your own space, right? Like, okay, maybe this is a situation where maybe you live down the block from one another. That could work, right? Or maybe this is a situation where you two live in the same home, but it's built in a style to where the house is separated by a bridge, right? Like you've got your whole side and she's got her whole side, and y'all meet in the middle. You know, you could chill at whoever's spot you want, and then at the end of it, you go back to your spot. Me personally speaking, I think that's ideal. That's something that I want to strive for. Anything less than those two situations, personally, I don't want. Personally, I don't want it. If you're gonna put me in the situation to where I have to decide whether if I want to have peace and an amicable relationship, or havoc and constantly having to work on a relationship, I'm good. You can keep that. Because I don't want that. I'm trying to look for the button, but yeah, I'm good. You can keep that. And I only say that because when I think of relationships, right, and I just think of them in the context of how we normally see them to begin with. You know, people live with each other. You know, you have a family, this, that, and the third. Like, yes, the nuclear family is ideal, but is it really ideal if y'all are always arguing? And you can't tell me that this doesn't happen in every household, because it always happens. And I'm not saying arguing alone is a marker for someone wanting to live separate from their significant other. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of headaches you can easily avoid if you had your own space. I'm the type of person who doesn't like to be up his girl's ass. I just don't like doing that. You know, I like my own space. I like being able to see them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. It saves me potential drama that we don't need to have. It saves me complacency. And, you know, to be quite honest, it gives me an opportunity to actually miss that person. Because what I realize is when you're constantly around somebody all fucking day, you're constantly around somebody all day, you're bound to have some issues with them. What's that quote? That quote people say, familiarity breeds contempt, or something like that, right? Something along those lines. The point of what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, if you are going to be with your partner all day, every day, what I'm telling you right now is that you are not going to have a good time. You're just not going to have a good time, dog. You know, you're going to find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. And more specifically than that, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you resent your partner. And let's be real, dog. Let's be fucking real. Who wants to resent their partner? Excuse me. Now I'm playing music in the background. I'm out here fucking up. But no, seriously, let's be real. Who wants to resent their partner? You know? And I say all of that because at the end of the day, I may not be the type of person who promotes relationships, but we all want some sort of like companionship to an extent, right? Like minus having pets. Like we all want some sort of companionship. The best and most amicable way you can have that companionship for a long ass time if you play it right, and if you mutually have chemistry, but if you play it right, would be to have your own space.